This is the video introduction to the Earth's Layers lesson plan. It was created by Enwei Fang and edited and narrated by Sean Krupa. This video and accompanying lesson plan are part of Ohio University's Boat of Knowledge in the Science Classroom project, funded by the National Science Foundation. Many of you are probably familiar with this simple picture of the Earth's composition. However, this is vastly oversimplified. Let's take a look at the individual layers to get a better understanding. We'll start with the layer that we're most familiar with, the crust. The crust can be 0 to 50 kilometers in thickness. It's rocky and brittle and has two main types. Continental crust is mostly granite, while oceanic crust is mostly lava rock, also known as basalt. The crust makes up 0.473% of the Earth's total mass. Moving inward, we have the mantle. It's also here where we have our first sublayer. The crust, plus the rocky top of the mantle, is known as the lithosphere. The mantle averages 2,900 kilometers in thickness and can range in temperature from 1,600 to 4,000 degrees Fahrenheit. The mantle makes up 67.3% of the Earth's mass. Also in the mantle is a second sublayer. It's called the asthenosphere, which is a layer of solid but slow-moving rock. In the mantle, convection, which is heat flow, causes the movement of the tectonic plates. Next we have the outer core. The outer core averages 2,300 kilometers in thickness. It's the only completely molten layer, and makes up 30.8% of the Earth's mass. The outer core has a temperature of 6,700 degrees Fahrenheit. Here, the rotation of the Earth plus convection causes the Earth's magnetic field. And finally, we have the inner core. The inner core is solid iron suspended in the liquid outer core. It's the only layer that's unattached to the mantle. The inner core is 1,200 kilometers in thickness and has a temperature of 9,000 degrees Fahrenheit. Amazingly, the pressure here is 3 million times greater than that on the surface of the Earth. And finally, the inner core makes up 1.7% of the Earth's total mass. Let's do an interactive example and talk about the density of the layers. From the physical information that was given to you, you should be able to infer the density of the layers compared to one another. Order the layers from most dense to least dense. Pause this video and take a few minutes to work out your solution and discuss amongst the class. You can resume the video when you're ready to continue. The most dense layer is the inner core, followed by the outer core, and then the mantle. Finally, the crust is the least dense layer. Does this make sense to you? Do you notice a trend? This is consistent with gravity pulling more dense or heavier matter inward. In summary, we saw that the Earth's structure is much more complex than usually depicted. Also, the distances that were quoted are not absolute. In fact, they're in a constant state of change. We also saw, by introducing the concept of sublayers, that the boundaries between layers are not always clear. And finally, it's important to remember that the properties of the layers other than the crust are inferred from other observations. This can be seismography, or, in other words, medical imaging, an X-ray or a sonogram, of the Earth. This concludes the video introduction on the Earth's Layers lesson plan. Thanks for your attention.